Have you ever found yourself in a difficult moment, urgently searching for a passage that would give you calm and confidence, but at that very moment your mind went completely blank? It's as if when you most needed to remember a promise, nothing popped into your memory. And although it may seem strange, this situation is much more common than many think. There's a mistaken belief that remembering Bible texts is a gift reserved only for people with extraordinary memories, but that idea is false. The truth is that the ability to memorize is not a privilege exclusive to a few, but a skill that anyone can develop with practice, perseverance, and the right methods. If what you are listening to is already speaking to your heart, this is a good time to support this content. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That way you will continue to receive teachings that can inspire your daily life and strengthen your faith at every stage of your journey. What many still do not understand is that there are simple yet profound exercises that allow you to record the word naturally. It's not about repeating phrases as if they were meaningless passwords or numbers, but about letting each verse become integrated within you, becoming a living truth that beats inside you. That way, when moments of pressure or confusion come, those words will emerge spontaneously, bringing direction, clarity, and comfort. They won't just be in your memory, but planted deep within your being. Imagine the scene. You find yourself facing a difficult decision, surrounded by doubts, and not sure which path to follow. At that moment, remembering a Bible passage is not simply something emotional, but a real guide, a compass capable of organizing your thoughts and strengthening your confidence. And that's exactly what I want to show you: how to build a firm spiritual memory that activates when you need it most. In this video, we're going to explore practical strategies that make the memorization process much easier and more consistent. We'll talk about how to combine prayer with conscious repetition, how to turn small habits into memory triggers, and how to make the word flow naturally into your day-to-day life. We will also understand why our minds fail us at critical moments and how to break this cycle with simple, effective, and purposeful actions. Pause and think. How many old songs can you sing along to in their entirety, even though you haven't heard them in years? How many movie phrases, TV series dialogues, or even commercial jingles still stick in your head without any effort? That demonstrates the incredible power of our minds. So why does it become so difficult to retain passages of Scripture? The answer lies in how our brain reacts to emotions, stress, and the accelerated pace of modern life. Overactivity, anxiety, and fatigue act as a veil that hides what really matters. That is why it is crucial to practice a conscious process of repetition and reflection, so that the word remains available even in the midst of any circumstance. Something similar has probably happened to you. In the middle of an important conversation, the words you wanted to express did not appear at the time, but minutes later, when you were alone, they came to your mind clearly. That's a perfect example of how our brain works and also a sign of how we can train our spiritual memory so that it doesn't fail us at crucial moments. That lapse between need and memory is more common than we might imagine. And it also happens when we try to recall a verse. If we don't train our heart and mind to let the word flow naturally, it will be difficult for it to appear just when we need it. Reading the essential Bible, of course, but doing so superficially, without meditating, repeating, or applying what it says, is like sowing seeds on hardened soil. They stay there but fail to germinate or take root. That's why memorizing Scripture should not be understood as a simple mental exercise. It is actually a comprehensive training that involves the mind, emotions, and the spiritual dimension. It's not about possessing a rare talent or a photographic memory, but about cultivating conscious habits and recognizing how our feelings directly influence our ability to remember. When we understand that the spiritual and the mental walk hand in hand, our mind becomes fertile ground where every word sown has the opportunity to take root, grow, and sustain us at any stage of life. And the most surprising thing is that very small changes can generate enormous transformations. Think about what would happen if every morning when you looked in the bathroom mirror, you found a verse written on a card that reminded you of a promise of hope. Or imagine opening the refrigerator door and reading a word that renews your strength. Even when you get in the car, you see a phrase on the dashboard that reminds you of God's faithfulness. Even your own cell phone can become an ally. If you transform the screen into a biblical reminder, every time you unlock the device, you will have an encounter with the Word. And we know how many times a day we look at our phones. Every moment becomes a natural opportunity to record in our hearts what matters most. Little by little, these details become spiritual anchors that accompany every aspect of your routine. But that's just the beginning. True change occurs when these practices cease to be occasional and are organically integrated into your daily life. The key is not to spend hours trying to memorize long passages or to demand perfect memory, but to build a simple and consistent process. 10 minutes a day done with discipline can make a huge difference in the way you relate to the Word. The amount doesn't matter, what transforms is consistency. And here is a fundamental point. Memorizing should not feel like a drudgery similar to repeating school lists. The purpose is to create a light and pleasant environment where the verses are incorporated into you almost automatically. A practical tip is to choose a short passage each day, reflect on its message, repeat it several times and let its words sink in. This small daily effort is like planting a seed in good soil. Over time it germinates, grows strong and becomes a solid tree that bears fruit and shade at the right time. This process is simple, but profoundly transformative. First, you read the text, then you say it out loud, then you turn it into a personal prayer, and to reinforce it, you write it in a notebook. Each step is like taking care of a plant, watering it, fertilizing it, and protecting it from the intense sun. At first, you may not notice any major changes, but just as roots grow hidden before the plant appears, the Word begins to take root inside you until it becomes an inseparable part of your identity. And there is something else that enhances this learning even more: the power of images. Our brain is eminently visual. And that is why we remember more easily what we associate with images or sensations. If you want to memorize the verse, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," you can imagine a green field illuminated by the light of dawn, hear in your mind the murmur of running water, or visualize a shepherd guiding his sheep confidently. That mental scene activates the emotions and naturally strengthens the memory. That combination of words, emotions, and images turns a verse into something so vivid within you that forgetting it is almost impossible. It works like when you look at an old photo. In an instant, you smell the place again, remember the voices of the people, and relive the emotion of the moment. In the same way, when we link Scripture to meaningful experiences, it becomes indelible in our memory. And there's another powerful resource: sharing what you've learned. Every time you mention a passage in a conversation, explain its meaning to a friend, or post a reflection on social media, you're not just conveying a message, you're also solidifying that memory within yourself. It's like repeating a phone number over and over again. With each repetition, the connection grows stronger until remembering becomes second nature. And the most surprising thing about this habit is that as you share what you learn with others, your faith deepens without you even noticing. And if we add to that the impact of emotions, the process becomes even more powerful. Sometimes we think that feelings interfere with memory, but the reality is that they are a direct bridge to remembering. Think about it carefully. The most vivid memories of your life are not linked to cold data or numbers, but to moments full of emotion. There is surely a song that you have never been able to forget. It did not stick in your mind just because of its melody, but because it is linked to a special moment, a celebration with friends, a farewell that marked your life, or even a personal victory that you will never forget. The same happens with words. When a verse is connected to a sincere prayer, to a moment of peace in the midst of the storm, or to a period of struggle in which you felt unexpected strength, that text ceases to be letters on a page and becomes an eternal mark on your history. It is as if mind and heart come together to protect an ineradicable treasure. That is why it is so valuable to approach the Bible, not only with the intention of reading, but with the willingness to surrender completely. Before opening its pages, take a few minutes to pray. Ask for understanding and put your heart in tune with what you are experiencing that day. Choosing verses that dialogue with your daily reality makes all the difference. If worry is weighing you down, Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 can be a refuge. If your soul is overflowing with gratitude, Psalm chapter 103 can become a daily hymn that rekindles your joy. The secret is not to turn memorization into a mechanical or lifeless exercise. Repeating it out of obligation may fix a few words, but it doesn't transform your inner self. Instead, when you read each verse as if it were a personal response to your own story, the passage becomes an experience. It's not just about remembering phrases, it's about living a journey that ignites the heart, renews confidence, and strengthens the spirit day after day. And if you want to take it a step further, there's a simple yet profoundly transformative practice: keeping a spiritual journal. In this notebook, you can write down the verse of the day, write down what you felt as you meditated on it, and even record how you were able to apply it to your routine. What seems like a simple writing habit becomes a powerful tool for prayer and reflection. Helps you not only to strengthen your memory, but also to clearly perceive how the Word has been manifested in the details of your journey. Over time, this journal ceases to be just a notebook and becomes a true written testimony of your history with God. As you reread past pages, you discover how the verses were present on days of trial, in moments of celebration, in times of waiting, and even in those silences in which it seemed that nothing was happening. But in reality, your heart was being molded. This retrospective look not only awakens memories, but strengthens your confidence, consolidates your spiritual memory, and shows you that at each stage there was a divine purpose accompanying your life. Now imagine combining this personal habit with practical resources that further enhance your ability to remember. We live in an age in which technology, used wisely, can become a great ally of faith. That same phone that is so often perceived as a distraction can also be a powerful tool for keeping writing present throughout the day. Today, there are applications specifically designed to facilitate Bible memorization that go far beyond digital reading. Many of them allow you to program automatic reminders, create virtual cards with verses, track your progress, and even participate in activities that turn learning into a fun challenge. It's like having a personal spiritual memory coach available at all times, guiding you in a practical and motivating way. Best of all, these tools make the process light, inspiring, and even exciting, removing the idea of obligation and transforming memorization into a dynamic and enriching experience. But there's something we can't forget. Simple, traditional methods, those that have been passed down from generation to generation, continue to be enormously effective. Copying the same verse several times by hand, placing a card on the bathroom mirror, repeating it out loud before going to sleep, or even transforming it into a short melody. These are practices that continue to be very effective. The reason is clear. Our brain records much more intensely that which involves several senses at the same time: sight, hearing, emotion, and action. Each repetition accompanied by movement and feeling becomes a deeper and more lasting record. The key to all this lies in what is known as active repetition. Reading quickly and absent-mindedly is like walking down a path without noticing the signs. You pass by it, but you don't remember anything. On the other hand, when you use your voice, move your hands, and put your emotions into the process, the word takes root naturally, leaving a solid imprint inside you. And if you want to take it to the next level, an excellent idea is to form a small memorization group with friends, family, or people from your faith community. Choose a verse together each week. Sharing reflections and recounting experiences generates discipline, shared motivation, and also strengthens friendships and a sense of community. There are many ways to practice and can easily be adapted to your routine. You can record a short audio reciting the verse and send it to a friend, record your own voice and listen to it while you drink, bring it up during family meals, or integrate it into group prayer times. Each of these actions creates a powerful cycle of reinforcement. The word is etched into your memory, your faith is strengthened, and your bonds with those around you deepen. Over time, something amazing begins to happen. Memorizing ceases to feel like an isolated endeavor and becomes a lifestyle. Scripture begins to flow naturally into the way you speak, your daily thoughts, and the way you face challenges. That's true transformation, not mindless repetition, but allowing each verse to shape your identity, guide your decisions, and strengthen your character. When you reach that point, you find that you no longer need to force your mind to remember. The passages come to you on their own, almost as an immediate response to your daily situations, bringing clarity, peace, and direction at just the right time. And the most striking thing is that when the verses begin to inhabit you, they are no longer just stored memories. They become lenses that change the way you look at life, influencing your behavior, the way you treat others, and acting as a visible compass that guides your steps. At this level, the word is not something you simply remember, it is something you live, that transforms your attitudes and renews your faith constantly. Make a comparison. When someone asks you your name or address, the answer comes immediately, effortlessly, almost automatically. In the same way, the word should flow into your life, spontaneously, naturally, as simple as breathing. That is the genuine purpose of Bible memorization, that the verses become integrated into your heart to the point that you do not have to force yourself to remember them. Although at first it may seem like a long process, with practice and passion, you will discover that progress comes much faster than you imagine. And here is one of the most important secrets: intentionality. It is not enough to read without attention. It is necessary to apply each verse to your daily reality. Use it as a filter when making decisions. Bring it into your conversations and make it part of your prayers. Each time you do this, you strengthen your spiritual memory in the same way that an athlete strengthens his muscles with constant training. Daily discipline is what builds the stamina, strength, and stability needed for the word to remain alive within you. At first, it may seem overwhelming, almost like those first few days at the gym where every move requires extra effort, but with practice, it becomes a natural part of your life, something you are no longer willing to let go of. And then the extraordinary happens. In the midst of a crisis, when doubts and fears try to dominate your mind, a verse appears with precision as a ready-made answer for you. It is as if God Himself were putting words on your lips, bringing calm and certainty at just the right moment, reminding you that you are never alone. The most amazing thing is that this process does not remain solely within you. When the word flows from within you, it touches those around you. Human advice can be quickly forgotten, but a biblical passage shared in a moment of pain, indecision, or fragility remains engraved in the heart of the person who receives it. That seed has the power to transform lives. Because it is not just a phrase, it is truth that illuminates, hope that restores, faith that multiplies. Living this way is expressing faith in its most genuine form, being a channel of comfort and light for others. If you decide to put into practice what you have learned here, you will not only experience personal growth, but a transformation in the way you see the world. Your life will begin to be constantly guided by Scripture, which will become your daily source of direction, encouragement, and strength. Pause and think, how many times have anxiety or insecurity robbed you of peace simply because you did not have a promise hidden in your heart? Today you have concrete tools to change that story once and for all. Remember, the Bible was not given to be forgotten on a shelf or to be read lightly. It is a map of life, daily nourishment that strengthens faith, and a practical manual for facing the challenges of each day. But for that power to manifest, you need to internalize it, let it become a part of you. The decision is now in your hands, and I want to hear from you. Which verse are you going to choose to start memorizing this week? Are you going to continue letting the days pass without direction, or are you going to make the decision to build your faith through the living Word? Write it in the comments because I want to be with you on your journey and celebrate each step forward. Also tell me what strategy you are going to use. Write verses on cards by hand, turn passages into short melodies. Take advantage of apps on your phone to reinforce your memory, or perhaps create a study group with friends and family. Keep in mind that what is not practiced ends up fading away, but what is repeated and integrated into your routine becomes an extension of who you are, something that stays with you in all circumstances. If this video brought you clarity and inspiration on how to memorize the Bible in a practical way, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and join this community that seeks to live a deep, intentional, and purposeful faith. Here you will find resources, motivation, and concrete steps to transform the Word into something alive, present in every aspect of your life. Because what we share today is just the beginning of a great journey. Your spiritual path can become much richer, more intense, and transformative than you ever imagined. When the Word stops being just on the page and begins to dwell inside you, it has the power to renew your thoughts, guide your decisions, and direct every action. It becomes a force that restores, strengthens, and directs your life in a complete way.